Go up, Ben! Coming by way of knockout, and he fights as one England, introducing the former British IBO and WBA champion, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Eubank Jr.
Sit there, big my bar. Pull the screw out. Make it higher so I can get him. That's good. First round's out of the way.
He's such opportunity. The left hand, the right hand over the top.
The Destroyer Ben.
And it's a blessing to be fighting back on British soil.
Is there a high level of respect between you and Junior now?
I mean, I wish him well. You know, I know he's gone to the hospital.
And you know, see, Eubank, Chris was spiteful in that ring, if you could tell. He could knock him out anytime he wanted, but he didn't want to. Just fucking using the jab and it's hurting him and it's hurting him.
After that, mate, just unbelievable. I mean, honestly, what I saw there, I can't even bother to moan about the scorecards because I couldn't be prouder. I mean, listen, I know me and Junior have had our ups and downs, but unbelievable respect to him. But for my man, Conor Benn, you've just seen the beginning, in my opinion, of one of the biggest stars in British boxing, the people's champion. And for all the rubbish he's been through over the last couple of years, and I know how good and clean this kid's heart is, to see him, you know, I don't think he's quite aware.
On edge, you see, we're good. We impressed by Conor because ultimately he was the lighter fighter in there tonight. Yeah, you know, Eubanks is no Golovkin. You know what I mean? You could see the way it started to look tired, but you know, Conor had that energy. You know, moving up the way, he had more energy inside him. But you know what I mean? Equal the match. You know what I mean? He lived up to the hype, and you know what I mean? They didn't let the fans.
Who won the fight, Conor?
You may have won the fight, but you're the one in hospital, not me.
If you take a man's soul, that usually means you win the fight.
You won the fight.
I've never seen someone's soul get taken and they still win.
So I look at you now and you ain't the same.
The truth is we both ended up in hospital and, you know, I was there for dehydration and you were there for the...
How much weight did you put on after the weigh-in?
Listen,
after the weigh-in, was you 3 pounds under the rehydration?
Speaking ahead of the fight, Jones Jr., who previously trained Eubank, told TalkSport that he is leaning toward his former fighter, but warned that it only takes one punch from Benn to end the show. Even with Benn moving up in weight, I think Eubank is definitely the bigger guy, the more experienced guy, he said. But you can never take Benn's one-punch ability away from him. If Benn lands just one, then who knows what might happen. I like Eubank, but Benn is coming from 140.
I think he's coming because of the size.
Yeah. Is that his best route to victory, just to impose himself?
Yeah.
Very tough fight for Conor. I'm not going to say he can't win it, Roy Jones Jr. told TalkSport, but it's going to be a rough one. To me, his best chance is to land a big shot and that it doesn't hurt him in return. It's rough. Chris is a much improved fighter. He's fixed his foundations and made himself better. He's going to be really hard to beat for any guy, especially one smaller than him. But we saw Liam Smith do it, so I'm sure that gave Benn hope of doing the same. It's going to be a great fight, but I think Chris has the advantages because he's just bigger.
He's looking at Conor Benn, he's talking to him, he's thinking to himself, when do I splat this egg around the side of his head? When do I do it? How do I do it? Do I put it in his face? Do I put it on his head? Is he going to see me? Because if Conor would have seen him, he might have blocked it and check hooked him. But it was quick. He distracted Conor by saying, what did you say? Then he reached for the egg and he clattered him right around the side of the back of the ear and the face. And the egg yolk went everywhere. A lot of the yolk missed him, so it wasn't that embarrassing where his...
Froch knows what it's like to face a bitter rival after a heated build-up. His first fight with George Groves turned into exactly that, with the young challenger getting under his skin through mind games. Early in the fight, Froch was floored by a big right hand and later admitted he underestimated Groves. He won the fight by controversial stoppage and later secured a much more decisive victory. In their famous Wembley rematch, Eubank has already unsettled Benn by smashing an egg in his face. At the first press conference, a reference to one of the excuses given for Benn failing a drug test ahead of their cancelled 2020 fight. Eubank will also have the size advantage. He has fought as high as super middleweight against champions like Groves, James DeGale, and Arthur Abraham, while Benn will be moving up to weight classes for their April 26th contest.
You've got to say he's a wide favourite. He's boxed George Groves. He's been in there with
Arthur Abraham.
He's a big punch in super middles, do you know what I mean? And his punch resistance might not be what it once was, and might not be the fighter he once was. I'd say he probably is a little bit sharp, but Conor Benn hasn't beaten anyone or fought anyone of the stature of the people that he's performed against, has he, Eubank? If you look at his resume, it's...
The wins against Arthur Abraham and James DeGale.
Masters speaking on his own channel. Frock sided with the bigger, more experienced fighter. When you look at all the variables, who's done what? Who's the bigger, stronger man? Who has the world-level experience? You have to say Chris Eubank Jr. He's performed at a higher level, and even at a higher weight. He belongs at world-level status, where Conor Benn has done nothing. Yes, he knocked out Chris Algieri and looked good doing it, but that was a way past his prime Chris Algieri. If I have to pick my immediate favorite for this fight, I'm going with Chris Eubank Jr.
Close loss to Billy Joe Saunders, but the loss to Liam Smith, that was such a bad loss, but he rectified it, wasn't it?
Yeah, but he rectified it in the rematch, and and Liam's a good fighter, you know what I mean?
Yeah, true. He is a good fighter. And in the rematch, he was dead himself, wasn't he? He was fucked himself.
He was,
Do you think that is a heavy favourite, or do you think he's a slight favourite?
I think he's a heavy favourite. I don't see what you can base, unless you're just going on like hype or something. But I don't see what you can't. I don't see what you can look. You got to look at facts, haven't you?
Masters former world champion Amir Khan also leaned towards size, giving the edge to the naturally bigger fighter. I initially started off with Chris, Khan said, even though I wasn't impressed with his last fight, even though Conor's 15-month inactivity might affect him. Even though I think Chris is the older fighter of the two, I still side with Chris. But I'm going to wait until the weigh-in to give my definitive answer. When I see them both on the scales and see how they look.
I've initially started off with Chris. Even though I wasn't impressed with his last fight, even though I think the inactivity of Conor for the last 15 months might affect it, even though I think he's the older fight of the two, I'm siding towards Chris, but I'm going to wait until the weigh-in and give you my definitive answer when I see them both on the scales and see what they'll look like.
Asterisk, I think they're going to meet in the middle of the ring, and it's going to be an absolute shootout. It's not just the names, the story, or the animosity, it's the styles, Shalom said. It's going to be mayhem from round one. Shalom is so confident in Eubank that he accepted a £1 million bet offered by Benn's promoter Eddie Hearn. He made that bet with me, Shalom said. Make sure if you speak to him that he sticks to it, because now he's trying to reverse out of it. If he didn't want it, I don't know why he brought it up.
Hard. So I'm worried for Conor Benn. Chris Eubank Jr. is hard to get completely locked in, let's be honest. We've seen it on occasion. He is ready. He has had a fantastic camp. He is training for this properly. He's had a great camp with Jonathan Banks. He stayed in London. He's not gone anywhere. And he's ready to put on a demolition job.
Gastorski made the bet. It would make for a fantastic fight. But yeah, Chris is Chris.
Making for a fantastic fight. But yeah, Chris is Chris.
The people's champion is Michael Watson. He always has been. During our time in the 90s, he was the people's champion. So where are these people today? Stand up for him by not going along with the nonsense and the circus that's been created for this farce of a fight, which is between one fighter who is at 2 or 3 weights above the smaller guy.
Asterisk, the people's champion is Michael Watson. He always has been. In our era in the 90s, he was the people's champion. So, where are those people today? They should stand up for him by not going along with the nonsense and circus created for this fight between a guy 2 or 3 weight classes above the smaller opponent. Questions ever isn't about whether such a bet is legal, since British Boxing Board of Control license holders like Shalom and Hearn aren't allowed to bet on fights they're involved in. Shalom, however, claims he received the green light. I've been told I can do it. We can do it. He doesn't want to do it now, but he's a big boy with a lot of money, so he should stick to it. Shalom said he should stick to his word, and we should get it on. An 18-foot ring would theoretically make it harder for Eubank Jr. to box and move, and easier for the explosive Benn to cut off space and land big power punches. Shalom, however, believes Eubank Jr. will meet Benn head on Saturday.